Hello and welcome to my podcast, Conversations with Cornelius, where I, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, discuss, chat and hypothesize on all things from fatherhood, marriage, comedy and everything else in between. From time to time, there will be special guests, but mostly it's going to be me and some regular contributors, including my main squeeze, Noelle Patricia O'Sullivan, aka the wife. So sit back, relax and enjoy Conversations with Cornelius. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Cornelius. I'm your host, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, and where am I? Thank you for asking. I'm in the sitting room, the good room. We call it
the other sitting room.
The other sitting room. We call it the good room here in.
No, he calls it the good room.
Well,
I call it the other sitting room.
It wouldn't be a great room at the moment. There's puke stains on the carpet. My 4-year-old son came in with our wedding photographs that were locked in a little briefcase, and inside in the briefcase there was a mouldy sandwich. I'd say it's maybe nearly the guts of a year old that had been left inside there. Definitely not by you. No. Definitely not by me. So the two suspects are a 7-year-old blonde autistic boy and a 4-year-old tyrant boy. So we have to get to the bottom of that. But anyway. Nonetheless, we're also...
So where did the vomit come from? Explain.
Well, the vomit came when you were off gallivanting. You were off gallivanting with your friends, having meals and having carbonated soft drinks. I was at home here toiling after 4 tough days on the road. But the puke came from my mouth because I empty reached the minute I saw it. And I had just made the lads their lunch as well. I made them a pizza and I had 2 slices of pizza myself. It literally came back up in triangular form.
And did you clean up the vomit?
Well, I did. I did as good a job as I possibly could under the circumstances. This was all coinciding too with the Limerick and Waterford game that I had been talking about, I suppose, non-stop for the last 2 or 3 days prior to it. And it had just been thrown in. So, I did a great job in the clean-up. Not up to your high standards, but I will definitely come back and try and clear it up afterwards. But what can I say? Also, we're live on TikTok as well. So shout out to all the TikTokers. There's currently 12 people watching this podcast live. We've already accumulated, would you believe, 193 likes.
No, so...
193 likes. No, that's amazing. Like, that's 93 times someone has pressed a heart button to appreciate us.
Yeah.
It's really? Up since I said that. Now it's gone up to 214.
And I better take my foot down.
Do take the foot down. Take the foot down. We're in the good sitting room. It is Monday. I don't know what date is it, love?
Today is the 27th. Monday the 27th of May.
Monday the 27th. And look, someone just asked us there, are we a couple? Are we a couple?
We are.
We're a couple.
At this stage now, we'd want to be married 10 years this year.
Married 10 years in September the 13th. Going out with her about 12 years.
We met 12 years ago, yeah.
12 years ago. So, I think we might put it up on Facebook later on. Yeah. We're a couple.
It's a fish.
It's a fish. Will you go out with me?
All right.
Yes.
Seal it with a handshake.
Was to fucking get a friend of
you
mine
got that awkward thing out for us. Thanks.
Thank you. Who asked that question? Goblin the Ganjo. Fair play to you, Goblin the Ganjo. Look, the likes are fucking streaming in here now. How you all met, asked Goblin the Ganjo. That's not even in today's podcast, but we met online. For those of you who don't know. We met on
Plenty of Fish.
Plentyoffish.com.
I was there for love. Con was there for...
love. I was there for the love as well. And sure, looking for a bit of love. Not just love, really. And we met in a pub in Cork called On Spalpeen Fanock. We were supposed to meet in the Oval. At the time, I was living in my own house in Mallow, and someone's just asked to join the live there now. We're not going to be asking. We're not going to be letting anybody.
Sorry about that now.
Sorry about that.
Maybe that was a mistake.
Sorry there, Apple 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 or whatever your name is. Look, we got roses sent to us there now as well. People are sending us roses. Oh, thanks so much, guys.
So yes, we met online.
And
we got engaged within.
Was it 7 months?
7 months.
7 months. Yeah. That it was like
first holiday abroad together.
We went to Italy, and if you go to our podcast, if you go back to our back catalogue of podcasts, you'll hear all of this. But basically, we went to Italy on our first holiday. We were going out with each other 6.5, 7 months. We were really hungover, but we were madly in love, and we went to Pompeii. I remember we went to Pompeii, and we were flying out the next day, and I was just feeling the love, and I felt it.
Well, we'd already planned potentially getting married at that venue if we were to ever get engaged.
We had a drunken conversation about it the night before, and long story short, we were just like, we just fucking fell madly in love, head over heels. And
my first full-on boyfriend.
I was her first boyfriend. Can you imagine that?
Set out after teenagers.
Yeah, and I think you were my 97th.
I was just another one on a fucking bedpost to his family.
Another notch on the belt, you know what I mean? And I was like, this notch is all right. I'll hold on to this notch. And we just clicked. And to be fair, it was a very quick engagement, right? But we had a long
engagement.
Sorry, a quick proposal, but we had a long engagement. We didn't get married for 2 years. Noelle moved
after that.
You moved in with me, and we got used to each other's smells.
Don't think I'll ever be used to your smells, Wayne.
But yeah, and here we are now, fucking doing a podcast on a Monday morning. So I hope
and if you want to hear all of our story, you can get it on your podcast.
The Goblin is asking, what's this podcast about? Well, I suppose we're going to get into it there now. First of all, let me bring on today's guest, regular contributor and main squeeze. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the amazing, the magnetic, the beautiful Noelle Patricia O'Sullivan, Muraku, and the crowd go wild.
You still going? That's me. That's me. Just in case you thought there was another person going to whoop on into the screen. No, it's just me and him.
How are you?
Do you know what? I'm okay today. I'm like.
I feel it off you.
Yeah, I'm great. I'm fighting not being great. Yeah. I want to be great today. My head wants to be great today, but it's like I'm not necessarily great.
Yeah, I felt it off you when you came into the bedroom this morning.
So I was like, right, all business.
You're all business.
Yeah.
When you're all business, it frightens me. It frightens me. I'm like, okay, she wants a divorce. Okay. Am I going to have the kids every second weekend? Will I have to take them at all? These are the things that go through my mind quickly. I had a nightmare last night.
Yes.
That like you came into the bedroom, I was like, I had a nightmare. I cheated on you with a friend of ours. And
she's hot though, so it wasn't so bad.
She's hot. Never know, maybe I might text her later on. But no, it was really because we were watching a TV show last night on Netflix. Ashley Madison, is it?
Yeah.
Documentary about Ashley Madison, which is a dating website for married people who want to cheat on their spouses. And you went to bed halfway through it. I watched on maybe another 5 or 10 minutes, and then I just came off it. But yeah, I ended up having a disgusting nightmare where I had said it to you, then I'd confessed my infidelity, and you were like, sure, it was grand.
I think what's funny
you didn't mean it. That's what you said.
I think what's funny
that actually hurt me more.
That was what was disturbing you. Was not that you'd had an affair, but that my reaction wasn't big enough for your affair.
Yeah. No,
I was like a bit like blasé.
It was just weird. The whole thing was weird. And then it was in the dream that you were blasé about it. I obviously know that in reality it wouldn't be. And that's what was perplexing about it. How many people are watching there now? 15 people watching, 1,100 likes. Lads, this is one of the most popular podcasts on TikTok this morning.
Definitely.
So we're going to play... I'm just getting an old text in there from Bernard Casey. I'll come back to that later on, Bernard. So we're going to play a game that we play on the podcast with great regularity. It's called Trending Topics
with Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan.
And we have 3 trending topics. These are topics that are trending on X. We're not allowed to say Twitter anymore. Well, you can say Twitter if you want to, but Twitter is old X. So these are things that are trending. These are topics that people are talking about across the globe. And oftentimes, because we live such an insular life to grown-ups with small kids that are married, living in a house, trying to fucking pay off their mortgage one payment at a time, we don't really see much of the world, do we? Like, as you drool on top of your
sorry.
drool on top of your microphone.
Lovely.
So just pouring a little bit of coffee for ourselves there.
I live on coffee, by the way.
Noelle is a coffee beer, and there's nothing wrong with that. And lots of likes coming in there again on the old TikTok, and we love to
Back
see
to
it.
the podcast now, Cornelius.
Sorry. I'm just,
for our regular listeners.
Okay, listeners, sorry about that, guys. So today we're playing Trending Topics with Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, and the first hashtag is hashtag. I wrote this down. It's spelled Gliese. Gazelle.
Okay.
So Giselle, we're going to call it Gazelle. Giselle? Jizz, it's a bit too jizzy. No. Gazelle 12B.
Right.
That's what's trending. Okay, I presume you don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
So thereafter,
I
did because to be honest, right, I was on Twitter this morning looking for topics, and as usual, it's all fucking bad news across the globe. Like, it's all war, death, genocide, and for regular listeners, we do talk about that, all the time. But it's Monday morning. Sorry, is your breast all right?
I'm just showing them.
Oh, yeah.
We're all for Gaza.
Gra for Gaza. We're big, I suppose we're big advocates for peace and non-genocidal kind of carry on. But at the same time, she's in a bad mood. I have to try and pick her up, so.
Let's go back to Trending Topics, Cornelius.
Gazelle 12B.
Right, what is it? Tell us all.
It's a new planet, right? Listen to this. It's a planet that has been located 40 light years away, right? Now, that means that if we set off for it, you and me, we wouldn't make it, right? But if we set off with our two boys,
yeah,
and if they grew up and there was other two girls on the ship and they ended up falling in love, and if they had babies, by the time then those babies grew up and had babies, those babies would be able to live on this planet. Because, by all accounts, Gazelle 12B is an Earth-like planet.
An Earth-like planet.
An
so
Earth-like planet.
All the.
It does. I think even if you just ignore that, it goes off after a while.
People were asking as well. Yes, we are Irish. We're from Ireland.
We're Irish. Get off. But yeah, an Earth-like planet, 40 light years away. So there's hope for civilization. There's hope for the future of the human race, not us.
Imagine if that actually happened, though. Like, there was suddenly a news, like, it came up on TikTok, like, would you like to travel with your family to the next planet? Like,
yeah, I would.
Do you know, interviews taking place on.
You'd probably have to do interviews. They probably wouldn't, I'd be like,
do health checks and everything. You would be out.
I'm gone. Yeah, I'm fucked straight away. They'd be like, okay, what's this here in your knee? Oh, that's when I had the gout. That's the crystallization of the gout. Okay, right, okay.
How are your lungs?
How are the lungs? Oh, yeah, that's because I've been smoking non-stop for the last 35 years. I haven't smoked in 4 weeks, but for the last 37 years I have. I'd be out, and I'd say, baby, you'll be out as well, because your days of procreating are behind you. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, you thought I was going to go somewhere else there?
No, but I suppose we've got 2 kids, so would that not count for something, maybe?
Would we get in on the back of the 2 boys? Not if they interviewed them. No way. No fucking way.
Yeah,
I'd be like, no, look, there's pictures of them there. They're lovely. Take our word for it. But isn't it kind of cool, though? Like, a planet. Can you imagine it, right? There's a planet out there, uninhabited by all accounts. I don't know how they can see that into the future, but it's the same distance from a sun that's equal to the size of our sun. They were able to figure out from mathematics what the degrees of the planet is.
Wow.
If there's hydrogen on the planet, all these things, which I think is absolutely fascinating. So there's a planet out there that
similar
Earth.
To Ireland, to Earth even. It's all about.
But
all about
if
Ireland.
you landed there then as well, that's the other thing. Like, what would you do? Like, there's not going to be any coffee, for example. You're just landing on some raw ingredients.
They'd be like, Cornelius, you've got to build a house there. And you'd be like, could I just tell some jokes instead?
Yeah. That's probably why they won't bring me in the first place. What do you do for a living? I tell jokes. Well, they're kind of long stories. They're long humorous stories. And there's a few poems there that don't rhyme and don't conform with the... I suppose with the structure of a regular poem, the syntax of a normal poem. It's But anyway, so that's what Giselle 12B is. But it kind of, when I saw that, I was like, okay, amidst all the bad news, there's a bit of hope out there. There's another fucking planet that we could destroy. Do you know? Like,
There's
we've
another one for
destroyed
us.
this one. Let's go over here and fucking wreck this gaff, you know? Hashtag. Now, this is something that you definitely know about. And this is something that I know fuck all about. Hashtag air fryer.
Why is the air fryer like trending?
I
Because
actually didn't even.
air fryers are out. I bet you it's probably, you probably should have looked into it because there's probably something wrong with them now. They'll be like, actually, you should never use an air fryer.
I'd love it. I'd
don't
love
like
it. The
any-
amount of people are like, oh my God, the air fryer, it's revolutionary. It's changed my life. Have you ever had an egg in an air fryer? Oh, you're not living. Fuck off. Fuck the fuck off. Like, it's just, it's a housewife's wet dream. It is. They're a housewife's wet dream and a house husband's wet dream as well. Let's not be sexist here on Conversations with Cornelius.
Yeah. I suppose we have an air fryer, but I use it and you'll say, oh, you love your air fryer. But like, I don't use it a huge amount in comparison to what some people, but I don't have like a Ninja or a really good one. I've got one like from Lidl or Aldi, so I don't know.
What's a Ninja? A Ninja air fryer?
Ninja. It's a brand of kitchen appliances and they're very good, the Ninja air fryer. But like, I've cooked the chicken in it and I've done all that racket, but I haven't gone fully into the air fryers. But they're supposed to be faster and quicker to cook with. That's the
Are
idea.
they supposed to be healthier as well, I think, are they? Or is that...
No, because no.
Aren't they? Frying, you see. Like, how could anything frying be healthy?
But it's not frying. You don't fry them
Okay, why are they calling... So look, why are they calling it a fryer then?
because
like?
the frying is to cook it. Like, but it's no oil. Like, it's like an oven. It's like a miniature oven.
So is it just like a blast of heat?
Yeah.
All right, okay. And has it revolutionised your life? Has it made the kitchen... like, I coming across now, like, as a real old fucking 1950... Oh, wear my pattern slippers, so, hey, make my dinner, babe. You know, I just, like, I don't cook the dinners. I'm pretty good at cooking an old breakfast, and I'm not much of a cook anyway.
No.
You know, to be fair.
But you'd eat the same thing day in, day out. Like,
Day in, day out.
kind of be like, I'll make us dinner there, sure. Beans and eggs. Have some beans and eggs.
I started to put some cayenne pepper onto those beans,
Babe, I'll take care of dinner. Beans and eggs?
Beans
But
and
you'd
eggs.
eat beans, eggs and potatoes every day of the week if you
I
were
would.
given it.
This is another thing that's starting to fucking worry me.
What?
Like, they are kind of, that's like an old trait there now of someone who is fucking not all there.
Well, no, that's
'Cause it's
not
true,
the wrong
like.
term. That's, you're just...
The wrong term, but you know what I mean? Someone that is, like, that is true though, like.
No, but you would eat other foods. You'd eat lots of varied foods. But if
I mean, food
you have...
isn't an issue for me really, is it? If
You're
we're
not
being
a
honest.
picky eater.
I'm not.
But if you are happy to eat the same things all the time.
I am. Like, I would eat beans and eggs every day, really, if they were served up to me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I would. A nice sourdough bread. What was the bread we got with the poppy seeds at the weekend? Oh, ejaculatory. The bread was so good, I nearly came in my pants. What was
That's
it?
disgusting.
Sorry. I nearly ejaculated in my pants.
It was just a white loaf with poppy seeds on it, so it wasn't
White
that
loaf.
exciting.
But I thought it was a Vienna or something. Is there a bread called?
Poppy Vienna, they call it, but it's regular bread with
Is
poppy
it?
seeds. Now that I've our bread maker, will I tell the world? Will I
Oh.
tell the world about my Facebook Marketplace?
I think you should. I think you have to, right? But just before you do that, guys, we're really trying to save money. We're trying to, really cut down on our waste here, sell stuff that we don't need, and use that money then to, help pay the bills and declutter our house. That's the plan anyway. So we've started to sell stuff on Facebook Marketplace. Off you go there now, Noelle, and tell the
Well,
story.
I've already told about so.
On Patreon, I think, only.
Oh, really?
I think you only said it on Patreon.
So I sold one thing, and I've learnt now that I need to stop doing my Facebook Marketplace deals in Lidl because I tend to go into Lidl afterwards and spend the money. So I got €50 for selling a dog crate, and straight away I went in and did the grocery shopping. And I didn't use the 50 on just regular grocery shopping. I used the 50 on buying a bread maker.
A bread maker. And now, in fairness, right, a lot of you out there are probably thinking that's not a prudent buy. That's just my sentence. Go on, yeah?
Oh, sorry, I thought you'd more to say.
No, that's just a
But
sentence.
I was going to buy a bread maker at some stage, and then, I am a little fiend for the old middle aisle. So
Are you? Are you?
But
you like the middle aisle?
I do. But usually I use this stuff. So
how many loaves of bread have you made now?
I haven't used it yet, no.
Okay, no. And how long have we got it?
Only a few weeks.
Would you say 4 or 5 weeks?
Yeah.
So, over a month? Okay, all right.
But this is actually extremely embarrassing. So that was the other Facebook purchase. But
why is that embarrassing?
Forgetting the next Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my God.
So the next thing I saw, right, was a baby carrier thing, right? And it was a baby carrier thing, and you're actually pouring that right in front of the Facebook Live. But
not on Facebook, boy.
They asked me to show them how to use it, right? So I met them. They asked me to show them how to use it. So I showed them how to use it, and I got into my car, feeling great now that I'd helped, this couple out to how to use this baby carrier thing,
and
right?
they had a new little infant with them, had they?
Yeah, they had the baby with them. And then the father knocked on the window again and said, "Oh, we don't know how to take it off. We don't know how to open it. Can you help us with that?" Oh, sorry. And so I got out of the car. No, so when I got into the car after doing the exchange, ready to go away, I was like, "What is with my pants?" Took no notice.
And this is
then
the new pants now.
New pants that I was mad about myself in.
For yourself.
Weak for myself in them.
You'd be walking into rooms, turning around, showing your ass
I was
cheeks.
like, well,
I was enjoying it anyway.
No, I was
you
like,
were weak for yourself. In
I
those
enjoyed
jeans.
it. They were like
You enjoyed putting that pants on.
mommy pants, like, they were
Shapely in all the right places.
No, they weren't. It wasn't that. It was just the look with a t-shirt, pair of Adidas trainers, or my Birks. I was like, yeah, this is a nice outfit for daytime, casual, cool outfit.
Nice
and nice vibe for the summer. And so I got into the car after the first exchange and went, "What is with the pants?" Got out again. He called me, and so I was helping him to buckle it back and fixing it, the carrier thing. And then I got back into the car, and I forgot that because I'd been working on, I tucked in the back of my t-shirt because I had a bit of a V-neck, so I didn't want to be over boobalicious around the place. And so I tucked it in. And then when I got back into the car the second time, I was like, "What is with my pants?" And I realised there was a huge slit, like that big, on my pants.
It was like a flap. It was like the pocket had come off, and if a good strong gust of wind would have come, you could see your arse cheek and your knickers. It was hilarious.
So I've never been so. I actually got into the car,
and you were unaware of this while you were.
While I was talking to
he was
them.
probably looking. Oh yeah.
Well,
nice.
I'd say he was going,
"Would you mind showing me on the other side as well, please?"
I was like,
Just bend
I
over a
was
little bit more.
never so embarrassed in my whole entire life. I was like screaming with embarrassment. It's the most embarrassing moment of my whole entire life, and now I'm telling everyone.
Yeah, well, to be fair, that's it. It was embarrassing to someone who you were never going to meet again. Do you know what I mean? If you had that experience, if you were doing that if you had sold that to Danny, and Danny was like, "Oh, would you mind showing me that?" and that happened, and he never said anything, you could never talk to Danny or be in his company for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
At least you'll never see this random
It's
stranger.
like
no, he has seen a lot of you, so I mean, he'll be seeing
like
it for the
I
rest
saw
of
a
his
thing-
life in his wank bank. But
Stop.
I'm just saying, because like there was nothing left to the imagination. It wasn't a little hole; it was a gaping, flapping. Like you could see pretty much your ass cheek and your knickers. It was hilarious.
But it's like that. There's a TikTok and it's the woman that was dying with embarrassment because she'd answered the door with her nipple out. With her, she'd been breastfeeding and she didn't realise it, and she'd answered the door getting a package with her nipple, her brow out, her boob out, and she texted the husband to tell him, and he was like, "Oh, I know, I just got the delivery confirmation photo," and it's tear. But she'd also the neighbour had collected a package and had come subsequently to collect the package, and she was like, "Why is he being so weird with me, collecting his package off me?" And because she still had the swinging around.
That's mad. Well, you wouldn't have that problem now if we did emigrate to Giselle 12B. There'd be no shops to be buying stuff, or there'd be no fella. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That problem wouldn't exist. Anyway, that's air fryer hashtag. That's how trending topics works. TikTok Nation. We start off with something and it ends up going into something completely different. That went into a conversation about marketplace, and Noelle selling
Herself.
her wares. This last hashtag is fascinating and has been taking all my attention. This topic and hurling have been in my head for the weekend. That's the two things that have been in my head for the whole weekend. Obviously, I was minding my boys yesterday as well, and I love you as well, and food, and obviously excretion. But besides all that, these two topics, particularly this last one, which is trending this morning, and I was like, it's written in the stars. Hashtag Ozempic.
Zempic.
You know what it is, don't you?
Yeah, that's the wonder drug now for the weight loss, isn't it? The wonder injection.
Weight loss wonder drug that some people think has only emerged in the market in the last year or two, but actually has been around for 35, 40 years, used as a treatment for type 2 diabetes. They're using it now as a wonder drug for weight loss, and it is what they reckon that shares in Ben and Jerry. This isn't that not they don't reckon it. This is actually what's happened. Shares in Ben and Jerry have dropped. Companies like Weight Watchers, companies like the one that we went to there, Slimming Worth, they're fucked. They're all fucked.
Yeah.
This basically is it's a drug, right? It's a liquid solution. It's a little injection that you give yourself. Now they're working on trying to get a tablet, and it suppresses your appetite. And it's like you just do it once a week, and it suppresses your appetite for that week. On the last day, your kind of appetite starts to wake up again. I wrote down some of the things in here because I don't want to be one of these lads that just waffles on without having any sort of facts on it. But it controls your blood sugar levels, basically, right? And it lowers the glycogen in your blood, and glycogen basically is the hormone that raises your blood sugar.
So is it available? Is it available in the States now at the moment?
It's available in the States. It's quite expensive at the moment. They reckon in about 2 years' time it's going to be $1 a day, right? And they reckon they'll have it in pill form. And like some famous people, so like a load of actors are using it now.
Yeah.
Probably the lady that you were talking to me about this morning, Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah. She's either taken that, or I think there's one or two different type of ones.
There's a few. It's the same drug, but it's different brands. There's a couple of brands that are are in with it. But it's it's unreal. It's unreal, and you can basically anyway you can get it on the black market as well, right? And I obviously don't condone that at all. In fact, I don't condone that one bit. No way, don't do that. But apparently you can. Rumour has allegedly you can. It's apparently maybe sounds better. But
what did you say the name of it was again?
Ozempic is the name of it, and the thing about it was it has been used for years and years to treat type 2 diabetes and help as an aid for weight loss. And then they were just like, because they'll say what are the side effects, and there are apparent side effects. Like in every, if they study a group of people, a certain percentage of them will be more likely to have, and some of the side effects are quite disgusting as well. Stomach paralysis, gallbladder issues, gallstones, pancreatitis, and thyroid cancer. But I suppose what I would preface that with is if you go and get an antibiotic and look at side effects, these are all potential side effects.
Yes.
But by and large, it seems to be. And they've done loads of testing on this now over a long period of time. It seems to be, as you said earlier, the wonder drug. And I am definitely going to get it. You're super
excited about it. You're like, oh my God.
I would just love to be, because what it does is it just suppresses your appetite. And you feel, when you're eating, you feel full really quickly. So you might be starving. You'll have a full plate of food in front of you. But if you could, it does take a while for it to kick in. It takes 2 to 3 weeks before it builds up. Enough in your body for it to kick in. But basically, instead of having that full plate of chicken and chips and curry sauce and cheese or whatever, you might have 4 or 5 chips. I swear to God, I can't get my head around it. I've looked at loads of TikToks on this now, and I'm like, and I know there's going to be gowls out there going, oh wait, fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Some people want to lose weight. Some people do, and some people don't, and live and let live. I wouldn't mind being a stone lighter and being able to eat the same food that I'm eating at the moment. But as long as it's healthy, and there's loads of research on this, so I think Ozempic, I'm definitely going to give it a go. But I think I might wait till it comes into the market. I don't know, would you buy something on the black market?
No way.
Yeah,
No
it's
way.
just that little bit more.
No way.
You're a bit of a fool, like, aren't
Yeah.
you? If anything goes wrong.
Well, like I just know how stringent it is to make drugs, and if you make them any bit incorrectly, and like you could have the same company make you a drug here and trying to make it in another plant, and the struggles and the problems they have trying to replicate what they made in one site over in another site. So if you suddenly got, like, a lot of these black market drugs would be either, they would be made in a different factory that managed to get the ingredients, but not how to make it.
Not the procedure.
Yeah, and you'd be trying to make it. They're making it blind, like. do you know?
Okay. No, well, that's.
And then they wouldn't have gone through all the stringent testing because it's not regulated.
Well, I'm just thinking now. I'm 47, so I'll probably have to wait till I'm 49. I'm nearly 50. Like, so do I just like eat away, put on the weight now?
Knowing that it's going to come
Knowing that in
off.
2 years' time I can just get this little injection, and I won't want to eat.
Mm.
The
only thing there, I suppose, is it would be so important about the nutrients that you're getting in.
Yeah. Well,
when you're eating in small quantities, like.
But you know what's
A
exciting?
lot of those people look grey, like.
This is the thing. Like, I mean, there's always consequences. I think you still would have to eat a really healthy diet. But could you imagine eating a really, really healthy diet? Like, we don't eat really unhealthy here. We eat, I think, our problem really is sweets.
Yes, yeah.
Like yesterday we bought a chocolate fudge cake now, right? And I know if that chocolate fudge cake was in my mother's house, it could be there in 4 weeks' time. Do you know?
Yeah.
Whereas it was gone by 3 o'clock yesterday in this house. You, me, and the 2 lads. And, like, that's just the way we are. And fair enough, that's grand, like. But besides that kind of... What are you looking at there now?
I don't know. I thought someone made a comment. They didn't.
Someone sent us hearts. We got a few hearts there. Lads, just to let you know, there on the old TikTok, we've 3,700 likes.
Jesus.
Yeah. But what it does is you don't eat as much, so you'll plan your meals a lot more cleverer, and you'll be like, okay, if I'm not going to want to eat a salad, right? But I only have to have 4 bites of it and I'm full. Let's have a fucking salad.
Yeah.
Do you know that kind of way? And then you could be presented with chips and you'll be like, nah, I'm grand. I don't want to eat them.
Yes.
And it will stop the sugary cravings that we get are in the evening, really.
Yes.
We're watching television, we're having a packet of potatoes, you're murdered for an old ice cream. I've started having the ice creams now, the lollipop, the likes lollies. I like an old sandwich sometimes, and when I say a sandwich, I like 4 sandwiches, with a big fucking share packet of hunky-dories. That's de facto, like, but it takes all that away because you've got this feeling of I am not hungry anymore. I don't need to eat. And that concludes Trending Topics with Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan live on TikTok this morning. So we'll finish up there, but before we finish up, I just wanted to ask you about summer. We're coming into summer now.
Yes.
And we have endured quite a long, dark, wet winter, really, in Ireland, haven't we?
We have.
And summer's coming in now, and brighter days, even putting the boys to bed now at night time, it's bright outside, and they're like, but it's bright outside, the days are longer. And I just want to ask you about summer in your youth, in your teenage years. What was summer like for you? Describe for people who don't know where you're from and your childhood, and what a typical 15-year-old summer's day would have been like for Noel Patricia Murphy back then.
Down in the seaside village, tourism bustling of Waterville, County Kerry.
With its beautiful promenade.
So we're talking a fine day in the summer.
Let's say August, just after the bank holiday weekend. The temperature is 25 degrees, the sun is high in the sky, and it's your body is brown from a prolonged, unusual period of nice weather in Ireland, and you have no responsibilities, only your teenage angst.
Oh yeah. Well, I did work So
Well, describe that, so.
I worked in the shop, the grocery shop,
All right.
and so it's summer's day. But in fairness, because it was our shop, like mother never really not let us, but have us working our full shift if it was a fine day. Do you know, if you were on in the morning, you know, you'd be rostered to work from 7 to 3 or 7 to 4.
Yeah.
And maybe, well, I remember, it's funny how you remember things differently, but I'd be like,
So
I remember my mother
Can I just
going,
stop you there now, first of all? So were you all working in the shop?
we would have all worked there.
And would
over
you
the
have had
years.
like at 15, would you have had 5 days a week in the shop?
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
And like, how long were the shifts roughly?
They were 7 hours or 6 or 7 hours, like.
Yeah.
But we never got, I'd say, I wonder when she was doing the roster, were we all as like the extras? Like, I don't know that she ever have us. We did have to lock up
Yeah.
but I, like, if it's quiet, like, if I meet people that used to work in the shop, they'd say, oh, that Carl fella, he'd be gone, like, you know, I'd say it's quiet there now, I'll just head away for a few hours, and he'd be gone for a couple of hours and come back.
No
like,
bother to Carl.
come back for closing, for the main time, and you know, he was always scheming about, do you know, if you do the brushing, sis, and I'll do the mopping, and like,
And I'll keep in control of the till as well in case someone comes in.
yeah.
Nice one, Carl.
But like,
Carl is a patron on this podcast and a great brother-in-law. Many's the pint I've had with Carl. Yeah.
But so
I like his style.
Summer's day, I might be working in the morning, and then about 2 o'clock, or I'd be like, Mom, can I just go away? Can I go away, Mom? And the shop could be mental busy.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, just half an hour now. Do 30 more minutes, and then you could go away then. So then you'd head.
So that
off.
was your job. That was your summertime job.
Yeah, and then babysitting in the evenings.
Babysitting in the evenings. All right. Okay. Jesus, it wasn't too idyllic. So I thought you would have had a much more idyllic,
No,
carefree.
we worked a bit, like, yeah. But then, like, we'll say probably still worked like August time. So I was babysitting for the carnival then. So I was doing all morning shifts in the shop and then babysitting at the carnival, and that was peak coolness and peak summertime.
Peak coolness that you were a babysitter for the carnies.
Yeah,
How is that cool?
because
In your mind, how is that cool?
because I used to get free rides at the carnival.
That's good.
Skip the queues,
Okay.
knew all the staff,
All right. Okay.
and like was
Yeah.
just part of the crew.
Yeah.
Then got like because I'd work for a few hours while
What was your
their
favourite
son
ride in the carnival? The
Oh,
waltzers.
the fastest one, whatever was the wall of death, or then there was one that used to go up and down, like around and around.
Mine is the
until-
bumpers.
Yeah, you hate
Hate 'em.
carnival rides.
I'm just frightened. I'm just easily frightened. Hunter and me are going looking for bumpers during the summer, he said to me.
And I think
And Harvey's like you.
yeah.
Yeah.
We even went the last year. We went to a carnival. There was carnival at the Glanfest, and there was a wall. You know, the one that goes side to side. And the last time in Waterfall, we'd get it stopped because Harvey was on it with Sarah, but they were the only two on it. So it was like he knew your man that was running it was like. I said, "Will you just?" He might last one go, like you know. So, but he wanted to go at it again, and he was there with his friend, and the friend. I was like, Harv, I tell you, look, I said, Harv, there's loads of big lads getting on that. That's going to be going too fast, like. And the friend was like, yeah, Harvey, I'd say it's too big for us. Like looking at it, going, and like Harvey would die on it as well, but he was all excited for it. But he would actually like have a shit attack if he was on it. But he still. Like I remember when we went on one of our first dates, and I never realised that Connie absolutely despised
Down in
carnivals.
Blackpool, where there was a lot of tough fuckers walking around the place. And Noelle was trying to get me going like fucking like.
I got you on something.
Did you get me on something?
Yeah,
Oh
and I
my
just
God.
remember. Show me your hand.
You'd get me on fuck all
You
now.
were like, he was like this, clinging to my hand, and I was like, oh, I think I've done a bad thing here.
I was genuinely petrified. I just hate those. I just hate that
we got
speed.
to the cinema.
I don't.
Oh yeah, we got to the cinema, and it was on near the cinema, and I was like, "Oh my God, there's a carnival! Come on, we'll go over to it."
Inside, I was dying.
You full of young love, like, "Oh, let's go,
I was in my 30s as well. My young love days were. I was pretending to be young. She was young.
Your knee was.
I was like,
actual.
yeah. I had a lot of gout going on at the time. A couple of old niggling GA injuries. Yeah, let's go on
And
the big wheel is a fucking big deal for me. Like I took Hunter on the Harvey on the big wheel there when we went to a Palestine march a couple of months back. He loved it as well. Couldn't go higher. Could not go higher for him. And I was like, I want this to end now. I want this to end, you know. And that was just a big wheel. But anyway, back to Summer Bay.
Well, yeah. In my head, it was Summer Bay. I was living my own home and away.
Hanging out with the carnies, getting free rides.
Yeah. Watching, seeing, like I suppose, of watching and seeing people, you know, the staff, who was new staff in the village, and meeting the staff that would be around, the French chefs and
hello, Noel.
waiters.
Would you like some escargot to go?
Yeah.
I'd love him.
Yeah, and
But yeah, this is why you and I are so fucking different. I could not think of something more horrendous than knowing all these people and being in their lives and skipping queues.
Yeah.
It, like, I love, but I think it did definitely opposites attract, because I love that. Like, I love, because you sometimes bring me into that, and even though I hate it, then after a while I'm kind of going, this is good, I'll get some comedy out of this.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I would love now to be the fella, you know, in the boot at the, like, we'll say, if I had that job, just taking tickets.
But
like,
you'd be probably, see, what you'd be now was the moody fella. There was always a moody fella, hot fella as well. That, like,
the hot moody guy.
I
love it.
Like,
That's me.
and you were like, I remember
I'm the hot moody
fancying.
guy.
There was one fella fancying one of the fellas, and did he turn out then that he had, like, that they were older as well, like they'd all be in their 20s, like.
And you were fancying him at 15. Fair play to you.
And then, like, found
And
out
they
the
say
one
it is
that
all
had
the
a-
men then that are the pedos.
Well,
This is a honey trap here.
technically.
But I suppose you can't help. It's up to them men not to make any move, to be fair now. Did any of them make any move?
No.
Good.
Bless.
Ah, God love them. Fair play to them. Do you know what I mean? They probably felt sorry for you. Look at this gossoon here. She thinks she's fucking great because she's getting a few free rides. She's working all morning, working here for free all evening. We're paying her on free rides.
Yeah, no, I used to get a few shillings as well. Yeah, but good days, good times, hanging out. The angst of the teenage angst as well going on.
Work finished then, right? Okay, let's say work finished, okay? Or let's say you were on a day off during the height of the summer, okay? I know you're busy, you're an entrepreneur, you're doing your 2 jobs, you're fancying
No, I did
French
go
guys.
to swimming lessons and life safety every summer as well. So I must have got those weeks off work.
You got those weeks off. I'm looking for, did you have, okay, so maybe you didn't have this, right? But I definitely had this. Did you have any day or a period of days where just the days stretched out in front of you and there was nothing to do? And this is back in, for me anyway, back in the 90s when I was 14 and 15. I did a bit of work in my dad's garage. You know, you'd be brought in for a couple of weeks to do, but you'd be kind of more like in the way as well, especially in the garage, because you couldn't drive.
Yeah.
You know? But once I was 16, I was driving all the time. And, but there were days where, like, the roads were quieter, there were no phones, there was no internet. And the television at home where I was, it was RT and RT2. They didn't start even really till around 2 or 3 o'clock. And it was usually adult
Well, you see, we had Sky.
You had Sky. You were also younger than me as well. So you're 7 years younger than me. So my childhood is 7 years on from your childhood.
Yeah. But you also grew up. There's a different vibe when you grow up in the countryside.
Yeah.
Like, even though you live, I always felt my cousins are from the countryside, but they're 30 minutes from Dublin city centre. Like, do you know? Whereas we used to think we were in the metropolis, yet we're an hour and a half from Tralee.
Yeah.
Like, we're not from towns.
And nobody even wants to go to Tralee, like.
Yeah.
You know.
But like we were in the village, so
Yeah.
and it was a bustling village. Like, so you all, like, there was coffee shops.
I have
and
to
there
say
was
though, Waterville is an anomaly. It's like Dingle. They're like an oasis in a desert. Like, they're vibrant. There's an amazing nightlife there. You've got lots of people who are coming down there who are really wealthy and are splashing the cash around the place. There's loads of really high quality restaurants, brilliant bars.
There was even 30 years ago. Like.
Yeah. And
You
it
know,
was
that's
like,
the thing.
and this is the thing about Waterville as well. I think it's the secret that that not many people know about. People go to Kerry, they go to Dingle. Waterville is like unfucking real. Like, you've got the lakes, you've got the seaside, and you've got these epic mountains,
And golf course.
and you've got golf course for millionaires and a golf course for billionaires. It is not uncommon to see 4, 5, 6 helicopters flying into this place on a daily basis.
Especially in the height of summer.
Especially in the height of summer. And like 30 years ago, it was still this bar. They didn't have it was even bigger. They had that hotel there where that golf course is now. That was
that was a Club Med.
Club Med kind of a vibe. But anyway, what I'm looking for from you is, was there any days where you had nothing on and you were just hanging out with your friends?
I don't really remember those days.
Don't you?
They probably were. Like, I presume there was I'm more of that would be more the winter.
Would it?
The winter Dawson's Creek kind of vibe down on the prom.
Yeah.
The waves crashing. Myself and Hazel contemplating life.
This is what I was
That's the winter time.
Is that winter?
That's the darkness. It's dark. You're sitting on the rocks. Hazel afraid of getting a kidney infection.
Don't be sitting on the rocks, lads. You'll get an old kidney infection, especially if they're cold in the winter.
Yeah.
Well, it's a different vibe to me. Like when I was growing up, when I was 14, 15, there would have been a couple of weeks in every summer that were languid and lazy, and there wasn't, like, it was the 90s. It was the early 90s. All these cool camps and all these, like they weren't around. Irish College was around as well. That was around all right, and some people went to that, some people didn't. I didn't go to it. There was a foreign exchange. I went on a foreign exchange one summer, but that was like for 2 weeks.
Yes.
You'd go over for 2 or 3 weeks, and then the following year they'd come over to you for 2 or 3 weeks. But mostly it was you and your bike.
Yeah.
And I lived in North Cork, in just outside Ballyclaw, about maybe 4 or 5 miles outside Ballyclaw, and maybe 4 or 5 miles outside Mallow. And a typical day for me would be like a typical sunny day for me. When I think back on it, how innocent it was. Might get up at 10 or 11 o'clock, be moody around the house. I was a moody teenager.
Still is.
Be moody around the gaff. No phones. No, like there was a landline, so you'd have to ask your mam, can I make a call? And often, no, you can't make a call.
Did you have a payphone in the house, or did you have
we had a landline. We didn't have a payphone in the house.
Yeah, 'cause some people had payphones in the house, didn't they?
Yeah, some people had payphones. I actually know a friend of mine, Dinny, they had a payphone in his house. And and all he ever did then, and all his brothers and sisters were like beg their mam for money for the phone.
Yeah.
Because the phone was the big deal. It was the big deal. And you'd ask, could you make a phone call? And then you'd get the interrogation. Who are you ringing? What's it about? How long are you going to be on? Genuinely, and if it was a girl, my mam never wanted me ringing girls. No, you can't. No, it's too dear. It's too expensive. Get her to ring you. That was the crack. That was the crack. But you might ask, could you ring a friend? And you'd be left, because if the friend was there, I'd be gone then for the day, and then my mother would be like, that's grand, that's Connie taken care of there now for the afternoon.
Yeah.
And you might head off. I might ring Dinny, or I might ring Gus, or I might ring Jackie, or I might ring Declan, and then they'd ring someone else, and then that person would ring someone else, and then very randomly we'd all meet. I'd go to meet one person, but there might be 6 people there that would turn up. Outside the hall in Ballyclaw in our bikes. And there was like you might have a BMX, you might have a racer, you might have your dad's bike, you might have your sister's bike. There was no jealousy about that was just your mode of transport to get there.
Yeah, it wasn't a flash thing, like it's not.
And you'd land over at maybe 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, and the whole day would be ahead of you, and there'd be nothing to do.
Yeah.
But you'd be there. We used to go into graves, down into graves, looking for skulls and stuff like that. We used to go up to the school, try and play a bit of soccer.
That's definitely the winter vibe for us, and it was outside the shop.
Yeah.
Meet at the grotto.
And we'd be like I remember one day we cycled back to Castlemagner because we heard there was a few girls there. We just cycled back to Castlemagner.
Do you ever ring into the radio stations?
Oh, we were always ringing into radio stations.
Requests.
Yeah, ringing in for requests. And then I did a lot of prank calls into radio stations.
Not at all surprising.
Not at all surprising. But that was
time for us to meander away.
It is time for us to meander away. I just want to say thank you for listening, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for the 4,000 likes on TikTok. We went live on TikTok today for the podcast. Thank you to all the regular listeners for listening. Thank you to all the patrons for supporting this podcast. yeah, just thank you. Happy thank you more, please. Thank you to my beautiful guest, Noel Patricia O'Sullivan, Ní Muraku, and thank you to myself as well. I really appreciate myself. I love and
Good
appreciate
job.
myself. Stay in by the wall, guys, and we'll talk to you
Slán.
soon. Good
Bye,
night.
bye, bye,
God
bye, bye.
bless. See you in my dreams.